Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Here, when that tune start smelling fishy, all right? So we can see from the comments that they think this, even though they didn't necessarily say the term, they think this is pick me behavior because they immediately went to she doesn't love herself if she's going to not go all out if he quote unquote cheats on her. Now, mind you, none of these people are married to anybody. So nobody has any commitment. Not Chantel rolled her eyes.
Because it's always the unmarried one. Notice the longest ones. The longest ones are always the ones who can't keep a man to save their life.
Oh my goodness. You know, and I'm gonna dig a little deeper though with what she said as well. Because she's saying generally the right things. I agree overall. Because I'm not Inspector Gadget, my dang on self. I'm not going through anything. Okay. I'm not going through phones, emails, text messages. I'm not trying to see none of it. Okay, because most of these chicks just want something to argue about anyway, or they just want leverage in the so-called relationship where you cheated, blah 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 blah. So they never really leave, even though they say it's some type of a deal breaker. They're never really gone. That's my whole thing. Like y'all complain about something that y'all not even gonna lead them in for. Just like we said earlier about the T app. They're not trying to lead them in. They just trying to see who the chick is and do she look better than them. You know what I'm saying? And all this kind of stuff. They don't be trying to leave. So that's why I don't really be, it be capped to me when they talk about the cheating is this big old thing. That's capped because it's not really, which leads me also to believe that it's capped for them to say that they would never share a man because they definitely are out here sharing men knowingly. It's just that it's not, I guess, according to hyena code, that's taboo to knowingly and openly share these men without problem. But going to the deeper thing of what she's saying, she said the right thing when she said she wasn't going to go through the phone. But the reason she gave for not wanting to go through the phone or wanting to do that, to me, was a little bit of cap. Because she's saying she's too busy and too preoccupied with all the quote unquote wonderful things that she's got going on in her life that she simply does not have time to pay attention to that. And that's not really sustainable. If you're not going to go through that man's phone, don't do it because that's not what you do. I wouldn't care if I was sitting up rubbing my feet together all day. I'm not going, as I rub my feet together, I'm not going to have your phone in my hand. How about that? Because I just don't do it, whether I'm busy or not. That's just not something that I want to do. And that's not a lack of love for yourself, ladies. That's just simply wanting peace for yourself. Because if y'all's contention is that all the men cheat. So if all the men cheat, what are you mad for? If in fact that's the case, that most of the men are cheating, what are you mad at? Why are you upset? He's gonna do it, right? According to you, no matter who these men are, where they come from, or what walk of life they are, that's just what men do. So if that's just what men do, regardless of whether he treats you right or treats you wrong, why are you mad? Yeah, go ahead. I was going to go back.
That proves your point. They're not going to leave anyway because men cheat anyways, right? So the only reason they're doing it is to see the girl that he's cheating with, to see if she looks better than her.
Yeah. That's what they want. They want to compare themselves to the other women that he's attracted to, because it strikes up their insecurities, because these women, for all of the insecurities that they would accuse me or Miss Chantel of having, for the reason why we're quote unquote pick me's and black male identified, because they try to say that that's because we have some type of insecurity about men, or we don't get attention from men, which is crazy. It's crazy work. Them trying to compare themselves to what other kind of women their men like brings up all of their insecurities. Going through the phone is an insecurity. That's an insecurity. Because these, let me tell you something, Miss Chantel, you may or may not realize, these chicks don't even be in relationships with these men and going through their phone.
Exactly. Exactly.
They don't be in relationships, girl. They be done talk to this man 2 weeks and then think that they are entitled to go through his phone to see what other woman he talking to. Again, not to leave, but to see where they fall in the roster. Are you number 1 in the roster, or are you number 5 in the roster now? Because you don't look good as that other one. That's when they get mad, I think, when they find out they don't look as good as the other girl.
And that's what pissed them off. If they'll get really, really upset if she looks better, and then if he's also giving, based on the text message, if he's giving her more attention and all these things, that will piss them off. But they're not going to leave. Hence why they would rather become a baby mama than becoming a wife, because it's like, okay, if I'm a baby, there was this trend going on TikTok where it's like, I'm his first. Be proud of the fact that
no,
I'm the first baby mama. I like putting it in other women's face where it's just like
what?
Yeah, so they are 100% okay with